Greetings and salutations, my long-lost Rebels friends. It is I, Andi Gutierrez, back at it again for the final season of Rebels to give all of you at home a peek behind the curtain here at Lucasfilm headquarters. Are you ready to talk secrets? I know I am. The fourth and final season of Rebels Recon starts right now. After receiving a tip from Rebel spies at the Capitol, the crew embarks on a mission to Mandalore to rescue Sabine's father from an Imperial prison.
Sabine, you are my daughter.
But the Empire reveals a weapon built by Sabine during her Imperial past that forces the crew and their new allies to take action and destroy it at all costs.
For Mandalore. For Mandalore.
With the support of Clan Kryze, Sabine helps the Mandalorians escape the clutches of the Empire, naming Bo Katan the new leader of Mandalore.
For my clan. And for all of Mandalore.
In this week's episode, the Rebels returned to Mandalore and found out that you can't always go home again. I sat down with the cast and crew to talk about the return to Mandalore, Sabine's role in creating the Duchess, the return of Bo Katan, and more. Check it out. Sabine finally accepts her legacy in Heroes of Mandalore. How has her time reunited with her family helped her grow into this role?
I think it's been a long, long time since she's been sort of immersed in her own Mandalorian culture. I think maybe it sort of reignites that sort of fire, that Mandalorian like warrior fire in her, and she's this young woman. I think I certainly forget how young she is because she's so wise beyond her years and so capable and so strong, and here's when it's like really a test for her.
We meet Sabine's dad in this episode. How does Ulrich differ from the other Mandos that we've seen in this series?
We really see that Sabine gets her love of art from Ulrich, that it's really his influence on her. That is definitely his side that comes out through Sabine.
Dave and the story team came up with really a cool kind of idea to see the mother who's kind of hard on her and the father who's the one that's a little more of the nurturing kind of aspect of it.
So the Duchess is a type of a super weapon unlike anything we've ever seen in Star Wars. Can you give us a little more detail on how it works?
The Duchess really is an energy weapon that hones in on the Beskar alloy and then superheats it and literally incinerates whoever's wearing the armor.
It's one of these things that has to be presented visually enough that it looks painful. Here what we did is we had a glow come from within. We did that old trick of just putting a light on the inside of the armor or just make the armor look like it's glowing, and then it just kind of comes out, and then you cut to the next shot where the armor falls and there's just ash floating around. You can kind of fill in the rest.
We learned here that Sabine actually created the Duchess. Are there any other details about her time at the Empire that you could give us?
I think that she's a very competitive person, so she probably wasn't really thinking, as she says, that she made some bad decisions, but she's probably at the top of her class. So she's willing to take on a challenge that no one else would and then succeed at it.
She's a munitions expert, and at the time she did as she was told. You know, she was a soldier in that regard, and having no idea the scope of the weapon she was developing and of course who it would be used on. So for her to then see it actually be utilized against her own people is, I think it's just beyond devastating.
We're learning more and more about Sabine and sort of the things that she had to do, and I think it really enriches her story a bit because you really see how she's struggling against trying to basically right her wrongs in a way.
We see more armored Mandalorians in the final scenes of this episode than we've ever seen before. How did you go about creating the look of the armor for each of the clans?
Every single designer had to design quite a few armor variations for that episode, which was really fun because it's Mandalorians. But we all kind of worked together because we wanted all the clans to be similar, right, to each other.
It's a lot of how quickly can you turn around things that look varied without having to rebuild everything from scratch, which sort of ties in with George's vision of what Mandalore was, which was less of a sort of tribal thing and more of a very highly sophisticated, very technological society. So the fact that a lot of their armor is quite similar doesn't sort of contradict what we've been doing in the Clone Wars.
Bo Katan was a fan favorite character in the Clone Wars. What was the process and why did you decide to bring her back into the show?
We always planned to bring Bo Katan back. She's such a beloved character, and it just made sense in these episodes. We worked really hard on her model and design to get her to look in our Rebel style, but still hold on to the integrity of who Bo Katan is.
We do have to question ourselves, are we doing it just because we want it, or does it actually fit the story needs? With Bo Katan, it actually really did fit because a lot of where Clone Wars was heading towards the end of the series, we were extrapolating what Maul's takeover of Mandalore meant. So we had sketched out a history in terms of who rose through the ranks to a leadership position during that time of crisis, and Bo Katan was that character. And also it just felt like a worthy character to pick up the Darksaber because we made such a big deal out of it. It would be a harder sell to give that saber to someone we've never known before.
Really? A Chopper standalone movie? Go back to work or something.
Of course we replaced you. You were in that meeting for like 7 months.
It's been over half a year since I last bothered the Lucasfilm Story Group's Pablo Hidalgo with your Rebels questions, but I'm going to give him one more week off just to mess with him. But if you have any questions about Heroes of Mandalore, tweet them to @StarWars using the hashtag Rebels Recon, and we'll answer what we can online. And now, as a special gift to you, here's an exclusive first look at next week's two-parter, In the Name of the Rebellion. Enjoy.
Base 1, this is Phoenix Leader. Stand by for emergency landings.
Come on, move it!
Check your speed, angle forward deflectors. Wedge, dump your fuel.
Got it, boss.
Kanan? Don't worry, she's got it.
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Need more Rebels info? Check out the episode guide for Heroes of Mandalore right now on StarWars.com. Thanks again, and may the Force be with you.